We must ask then, what was it that they believed? Well, concerning Thanksgiving, they believed that a day must be set aside for what they called fasting and humiliation. If there were droughts or shipwrecks or severe Indian attacks, they saw those events as whips in God's hands to discipline them. They believed all those things were under the control of God, that nothing was outside of his control. So they would call for a day of repentance. They also would call a fast day over trouble in the church or society if heresies arose or contention and divisions in the church, or there was a neglect of family order and worship, or immorality broke out among the youth. They knew that God was afflicting them by allowing these things and would afflict them more if they did not turn from their sin. So they would call a special day, a day of what they called humiliation. Each family was supposed to prepare their hearts to arrive early at church, to dress simply. Then they would spend the day listening to preaching, singing songs, and particularly be in prayer. The purpose was to afflict the soul and say, "Woe is me," and seek God's mercy. A Puritan pastor in New England defined the day of fasting like this when he said, "An extraordinary part or act of gospel worship, wherein for a convenient season we abstain from the comforts of this life, and upon due examination of our ways towards God, and consideration of God's ways toward us, we make a solemn and real profession that we justify God and judge ourselves." To be truly thankful, to be able to have true days of thanksgiving, we too need days of repentance and self-affliction. We need some dark nights of the soul to taste the bitter before we can appreciate the sweet. Desperately seeking the God we know we have offended and who we know who is in control of all the adversaries that have come upon us. Thanksgiving is such a genuinely Christian holiday because it recognizes that God is indeed in control of all. And that too is something we need in order to be truly thankful.